upon a pillar. The Bible began to talk about how hard that it rained, and that the rain began to fill up the ship. Don't you know that any time that God begins to get close to you in your life, that there'll be a great storm will rise up. I know whenever that the Lord saved me, and when I got to getting closer to God, getting closer to being saved, the day I went to church, Brother Mike, I didn't go to get saved. I just went to fulfill an obligation. Somebody invited me to go, and invited me. Finally, I just give in and went. But I'm here to tell you tonight, there was such a great storm going on in my life. The rain was a-blowing, the wind was a-blowing. Yes. Surely looked like that my little ship was about to sink. The same way that them disciples, the Bible said that they was there, and the rain began to fill up the ship to the point, Brother Paul, that it became full. And whenever that the ship got full, finally them disciples began to cry out, Master, carest not that we would perish. So you see, that's all that the disciples, that's all that they had to do, was to cry out unto Jesus. What was they crying out? As they said the other night, all you had to do was just cry out help. You might not know how to pray, you might not have good words, you might not be a big preacher, you might be completely illiterate tonight and not be able to read a word or ever heard a Bible story or ever be able to quote a scripture. All you got to do tonight is to cry out help, and I guarantee you get a hold of the whisper. But tonight, for I know that the Bible said that God is no respecter of person. He doesn't care no more about me than what He does about Mike or Brother Adam or about the drunk laying down in the ditch laying tonight. But the Bible said that God commended His love towards us, and that while that we were yet sinners, Christ would lay His life down and die for you and I. That tells me that whenever that He went up on the cross, when He was hanging there between them two thieves, all He had on His mind was you and I, my friend. It wasn't after we got all cleaned up and all shined up and made up in our mind that we was going to come to church and we was going to ask Him to save us. He did it far out, way off in the future. But for you and I, for the Bible said that He was there from the foundation of the world, that this salvation plan was made out for you and I. We may look back and think probably somewhere around a couple thousand years ago that Jesus died for you and I. It was a way back from that. But from the foundation of the world, when Jesus and God spoke everything into existence, when the whole world was out there, and He put it out and He hung it out there on nothing, and He began, but it was before that He ever spoken to the permanence and separated the light from the darkness. It was long before He ever separated the water out from the foundation of the world. Jesus was made up in His mind that the salvation plan was going to take His blood. And tonight as they sang, what would wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. It ain't by the blood of bulls and goats and turtle doves, Sister Jill. It's nothing but the man that came from Calvary. The man that was in the hinder part of the ship. You see, he wasn't worried about the storm. The storm in his life, the storm that was going on. Brother Paul, it was just the elements. For the wind and the waves, they were able to obey Him. The disciples was the ones that was worried about the storm and worried about the situation. A lot of us, we do the same thing, Angie. We get worried about the situation, Tyler. We're worried about what's going on around us. We're worried about our bills. We're worried about our houses. We're worried about how we look. We're worried about how we dress. We're worried about everything going on around us. But none of that has any dealings with the Lord. The Lord's not concerned about that. The Lord is only concerned about you and I. He's concerned we're continually upon His mind. For the Bible said that He'll never leave us and He'll never forsake us. That tells me, Brian, if we go down to the liquor store, Jesus, we're taking Him right along with us. I believe that the Lord goes with us, whether that we're lost or whether that we're saved. You say, preacher, how can you prove that? Because I was a drunk. One time I was plumb doped up out of my mind on drugs, driving drunk. I wound up down towards Johnson City and Piney Flat. The last thing I remembered was getting off of exit 3. I woke up out in the middle of a field floor, drunk out of my mind. Whenever that I finally came to myself, I had to climb up on the top of my Camaro to look and try try to see the road and to look for the light. Who was that was behind the wheel? It was the same man that was in the hinder part of the ship. It was the same man that hung on the middle and died for you and I. Jesus was the one that was taking care of me until I would be able to come unto Him and to see that I really, really needed Him in my life. For I thought that I was having a good time. I thought that everything was going all right. But really deep down inside of me, there was a hole in me. There was a void inside of me. And God Himself made that void and put it down in my life. And the only thing big enough to fill it up was Jesus. And no matter how many Lord takes you take, how many Percocets you would snort up your nose, how much cocaine that you would try to snort, how much crack that you could smoke, I've done every bit of it, and with none of it big enough to fill up the void in my life. Jesus, He was big enough to die for you and I. He was the only thing that was big enough. The Bible talked about the storm, and then right at the end of the storm, the Bible said that they arose. They arrived at the place called the Gadarenes. There was a man there that really needed Jesus. He really, and I don't read about anywhere else. We'll get into it just a little bit. And I know you're just packed in here tonight, and I appreciate everybody coming. I won't keep you as long, but watch what the Lord done to this man. There was a man there, and the Bible said that that man, he was out in the tombs, and he was cutting himself night and day. The Bible said that he was crying night and day. Have you ever laid there on your bed at night when nobody else is around? All of the music has gotten quiet. Everything is settled down. Nobody's up stirring around. And you lay there and tears begin to stream down your face. That's something you're missing. That's exactly right. I done it. I thought I'd have big parties. I'd have all my friends over, and there'd be liquor bottles strolled out everywhere, and we'd be smoking dope and doing everything else. But then whenever everything would calm down, KR, everything would get quiet in that still part of the night. But Jesus was right there, and He was tugging on my heart. The tears are streaming down my face. I've said it before. I sat on the edge of my bed with a double-barrel shotgun in my mouth, ready to pull the trigger. What was it that kept me to lose that KR? He looked the bar off now, and He seen me, and He had pity upon my soul. For whenever that I was down in that low state, He still cared about me. Son would even dare to die for a good man, but would nobody give you a nickel for my life? Would nobody give you nothing for me? I told it before. My grandmother went out. She took out an insurance policy on me. She had other grandkids. She had other children. But I was the one, Justin, she went out and took the insurance policy on. She come over to my house with a baseball bat, run my friends off Beretta, stood in my driveway one night. She looked me right in the eyes and she said, "You're evil. You're going to die and you're going to go to hell." I didn't feel like that I was that way. I just felt like, well, I wouldn't hurt nobody. I wasn't going out and doing all this other stuff to nobody else. It was just me, Brother Paul, that I was hurt. But little did I know I was a gambling. It was like I was playing Russian roulette with that gun and just spinning, because there's a bullet in that trigger. There's a bullet in that gun, Brother Mike. And if you keep on playing and you keep on gambling, you keep on rolling the dice, eventually it'll get you. It'll get you. It's bigger, sin stronger than what you are. You can't do nothing with it. It'll get you and it'll bind you up. It'll get you in a state just like this man that was in there crying out in the tombs of the Gadarenes. The Bible said that people would come out and they would try to bind him with chains and fetters, but nobody in the country cared nothing about this man. They had done everything that they could with it. The Bible said when they would put the chains and the fetters upon him, that he would pluck them asunder. He didn't have to pay no attention to it anymore. Have you ever felt that way in society? Have you ever felt like you was the outcast, that you was the one that didn't fit in, and you're trying to fit in? Well, that was this man. This man was out in just such a great state, and he'd been put away, and the public had tried to put him out of their mind and out of their sight and turn him out in the graveyard. And surely that's probably exactly where he belonged at, being a crazy man. But Jesus knew his need, and Jesus knew exactly where he was at. So whenever that Jesus come up and he found the man, the Bible said whenever they got up, that Jesus got off of the ship and he went to the man of the Gadarenes. And he found him, and then that man, whenever that man saw him, he cried out and said, "Jesus, what hast thou to do with me?" I thought the same thing at night over at Richland at the devil. So there the Lord started dealing with my heart about middleweight back in that church. And I thought, God, what have you got to do with me, Jesus? I'm not good for nothing. I ain't got no... Come on, man. I'll just testify for me. I was a 19-year-old boy. Been out partying all weekend. I thought I'd had everything. I thought I had a handle on the world. I worked in the coal mines with my daddy. My daddy was a foreman in the coal mines. I worked in there and I was making good money. I had all kinds of money in my pocket, and drove a nice car and all that, and girlfriends and everything. Everything was going my way. A pocket full of money, a roll of money. You know what a coal miner makes. Me, just a 19-year-old boy in a car, didn't have no bills, no nothing. I thought I had the world by the horns. One night I'd come to the house, Mom and Dad had been fighting, had been arguing, sin come into their life too. Sin, it'll break you up now. Sin, you will reap what you sow. Come home. July 19th was my mom's birthday. It was on a Friday. I'll never forget it. It was payday, and I got paid. We come home. I was wanting to go out and party that weekend. Some of y'all, if I mentioned their names, you know the ones that I went out and partied with that weekend. It was that night. Daddy said, "Would you please stay home?" He said, "We're going to have your mommy a little birthday party." He said, "We're going to have some." We stopped in Lebanon and got Kentucky Fried Chicken. Got a birthday cake. Brought it to the house. Mom was late getting home, and I was itching to go out and party, for I didn't know what was going to happen just down the road. Finally, Mommy got to the house. We had birthday cake, we eat ice cream and all that, and I saw my Mommy and Daddy dancing upstairs in the floor. I'd never seen him dance before. And Daddy, he was just a real quiet man, never said a whole lot. I'd never seen him act like that. I thought that was probably the happiest that I'd ever seen him before. So I left there. Little did I know in my mind what was going to take place in less than 48 hours later. I was out, and I went out, and I partied all that night. I partied all night Friday night, Justin. I woke up probably somewhere midday Saturday. We started partying again, and I partied all night Saturday night. And it come Sunday morning night, and I woke up, my head hurt and hung over, knowing that I had to go home and face Mom and Dad when I got home. But I really didn't know what I was going to have to face, and neither do you. You don't know what you're going to have to face when you step outside of those doors. But I know if you come to this altar tonight and give your heart to God, I know that He'll be the greatest. I know that every weight, every sin that the world has got will be laid off of your shoulders. You'll feel Sister Kim, she testified the other day after she got saved. She said, "I just feel so clean." She said, "I don't know how to explain it." She said, "I just feel clean." She said, it's like a weight that's gone off of my shoulders." Sunday morning or Sunday day, somewhere around 3 o'clock, I got to the house and I had my friend with me, and I said, why don't you come in with me? It'll make it a little easier on me. But they won't jump on me so bad whenever that I come in for laying out all weekend. He did. He walked in the basement door with me, still had no idea. Got up, we had a spiral staircase from our basement going up to the second floor of our house, and we walked up that spiral staircase and laying there on the floor. The first one I come to was my daddy. My daddy was laying there, and blood all around him in the carpet. I got down on my hands and knees, and I tried to breathe in his mouth, and I could just hear gurgling. I'd worked in the mines, and I'd had some EMT training, and I knew that it was too late. I couldn't tell. I didn't know. And over here laid my mommy, and we had a big spinning wheel up on the third. I could still see it in my mind. It's been way over 20-some years ago. Still see it in my mind, just as plain. Spinning wheel laying there, my daddy laying here like this, my mommy laying over here, and I run over to her. Just a 19-year-old boy. Thought he had the world by the horns. Just a few hours later, a roll of money and nice cars and everything that you could ever ask for. Away already enrolled in college, had already done one semester down at East Tennessee State University to be a physical therapist. I had my life kind of planned out. I thought exactly what I was going to do. I thought I knew. You may be here tonight. You may think you know exactly what you're going to do, but you never know what lies around the corner. I got to the top of those steps, and I found Daddy, and then I went over, and there was my mom, and I got down, and I tried to do the same thing for her, and there was no way. I just lost it, Paul. I was dabbling in drugs. I was doing just a few things then, Brother Matt, but then at that point, I was on my own. I didn't have nobody to answer to. I didn't have nobody. I didn't have no brothers, no sisters, nobody that was real close to me. And anybody that was close to me, Adam, I wouldn't let them in. I hated them. I had such a hatred in my heart for everybody. I didn't care for nobody. I didn't care if I lived, and I didn't care if you lived. I was a cold, bitter person. I drunk, I stole, I robbed. I done every kind of drug that I could get my hands on. Not just a little bit. I would do it if I was going to drink. I would drink until I passed out. If it took 2 days, if it took 3 days, if it took 5 days. And I've been up time and time again, sitting there smoking. We would be. I know this is pretty vivid tonight. This is what sin will do to you. Lord Jesus. I'd go to North Carolina, and I'd buy $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 worth of cocaine at a time. I'd make crack out of it, and I'd smoke crack out of a graphics bong. A lot of you may not know what that is, but some of you may do. I'd had a 4-foot extension on it. I'd have to stand on a chair, and I'd put a rock in it as big as my thumb. It'd be a $100 bill is exactly what that would cost if you was to go out and buy it on the street, and that was 20-some years ago. Hard to tell what it would cost right now. It was so tall I'd have to stand on a chair and hit it myself, and get somebody else would have to light it and pull the chamber on the bottom, and I'd clear the smoke. Everybody else that I would see do it, they would fall off of the chair and pass out in the floor, or they would fall off and then they would have to run outside and they would throw up. But I had built such a tolerance up to it while that I couldn't smoke enough cigarettes to make enough ash to go down in the screen of it to be able to smoke, and I would have to light cigarettes and just set them around the ashtray. You think, now I'm talking about a boy that was allergic to cigarette smoke when I was a little boy. I'm talking about a boy that made straight A's in school. I'm talking about a boy that went 12, 13 years from kindergarten all the way through high school, all the way through my senior year, and never missed a day of school. I made my first C in the 8th grade. Now that's exactly what sin will do to you. You think you can just dabble in it. I smoked marijuana with a boy. I won't call his name. I still remember his name. I can still see his face in my mind. And that was the beginning of it. That's where every bit of it really started a little bit before that when I smoked my first cigarette. And then I thought, and then the conviction left. I thought because whenever that I had done that for the first time in that little bit of rebellion, I thought, I didn't die and go to hell over that. That's what you would think, you know. And then the first time that I smoked dope and I didn't die and go to hell right after that, I thought, there may not be nothing to it. So I just kept on, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Had they come to me and presented the worst of it the first time, I would have never touched it. I'd have never had anything to do with it.
Bless you, Nick.
And then after that, I had nobody to answer to. It just I could just go on and on and on. One thing led to another, another thing led to another, and that thing led to probation. And probation then ended up leading to jail. Jail time in Virginia, then jail time in Tennessee, and then it just ended up, and my life just spiraled out of control, and I had no way to do anything about it. So the boy that once had a big roll of money in his pocket and had a big nice car, then the money was gone, and the car was wrecked, and the house was in shambles, and it was turned upside down, and still all along, the only thing that I needed through every bit of that was Jesus. I could have skipped every bit of that heartache, and went straight from. Have you ever sat in a church house and looked at it? Not just, it's bad enough to sit in a church house and look at one casket up in the middle, but when you sit in a church house and you look at your daddy over on this side and your mommy over on this side, and nobody else to turn to, and you wonder what to do. I've got a God in heaven that gathered.
Amen.
I got a God that met me down at the gatherings. I got a God that came down, and He met me exactly where that I was at.
Bless you, Nick.
Yeah. He could have come down and He could have stopped me from doing every bit of that. He could have come down and He could have took the alcohol away from me. He could have took the drugs away from me. Come on, brothers. Come on. But He did. He was right there. All along. All I had to do. Help me. The blind man. He was along the roadside begging, and he had heard tell of a man named Jesus. He had been blind long enough. He was tired. The crowd was trying to shut him down. The crowd was trying to keep him quiet. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. How many knows that He's merciful? He's merciful. Praise the Lord. This man of the Gadarenes, he was down there. He ran to Jesus whenever that he saw him, and Jesus said, "What's your name?" "What's thy name?" You think Jesus didn't know what his name was? Jesus knew him when he was in his mother's womb. Jesus knew that man that was out there in the tombs when his mommy wrapped him up in a little blanket and took care of it. Jesus knew his name the whole time. But He said, "My name is Legion. We're many." Skip on down a few chapters or a few verses later. The Bible said that it called Him the Legion. Well, that's not how I don't say the Brian. As you read it, that wasn't really the man's name. You know, a lot of us, after you say for a little while you're in church, we call it the man that they called Legion. The man that was called Legion, or the one that was down at the Gadarenes. That man was determined. He had been, his destiny had been determined by the situation that he was in his life. If they would have looked at me, if you would have looked at me, any one of you men would have looked at me when I was 19. Oh, when I was a 20-year-old boy. When I was a 21-year-old boy, whenever I got saved, hair down on my shoulders, tie-dye t-shirt on, combat boots, robbing, stealing. I'd go in stores and I'd rob a lot. I'm so ashamed of the life that I used to live. Every one of you would look at me and you would have said, "You'll never make anything. You'll never be done." He's done hurt himself. Look at how far that he's gone. The town had already given up on him. They had casted him out. They had put him all the way in the cemetery. Left him out there crying all night long. Binding him up with chains and fetters out there to the point to where he was cutting himself. He was trying to kill himself. He had done got that low and he had done got to that point. One day. Jesus. Showed up that day, right after. Maybe there was a rainbow after that hard storm that had come that day. Showed up right on the shore. That man knew exactly what he needed whenever that he saw Jesus. Jesus came to him. Jesus got down. And the Bible said just a few verses later, said that they found him and he was clothed. And he was in his right mind. A few more verses right on down after that, the Bible says, Jim and young here come to begin. A few verses on down, the Bible tells it. It talks about the man. I mean, we could go in, everybody knows the story about how that when the people came out, and they saw the man that they had once determined in his mind that he was no good, that he was worthless, and that he was useless, and that he was just a menace to society, to just get rid of him. Yeah. Whenever that even though that his restoration caused them hurt, when the swine went out, went into the sea and drowned and choked themselves, they not only wanted to run off Jesus, they did. They wanted to run him off too. They didn't care about that man. Them friends, them people that you got around you, that you think loves you so much, cares about you, and is your good buddies, when you get restored, they don't know what to do with you. While I had money, right after Mom and Dad died, while I had money, and I was going down, and I had big bags of cocaine, and I had so much, you're in here tonight. You remember when you put it down in the corner of a baggie, and you cut the corner off, you twist it off, and you roll it up, and you put a sandwich bag tie around it. I kept mine at Skull Hill. That's how much. I didn't dump it out on no glass. I just stick the blade of my knife down in. But when that starts dwindling away, yes, sir, and all of that's gone,
friends go away.
There you are. You ain't got no money. Your car's tore up. Your house is destroyed. And there you are. Sitting amongst the tombs, crying, cutting yourself, all alone, just wishing you could die. But then Jesus showed up.
Amen.
Right in the middle of your storm, He showed up. That's the worst. Come on. The Bible said that when them people, they run him off, but that man wanted to get on the ship. He wanted to go with Jesus. Jesus said, no. Go tell your friends. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't have no friends. He was in the tombs, cutting himself. He must have had friends. He wasn't always in that shape that he was in. He'd gotten in bad shape. He got in a bad situation. Jesus said, you can't go with me. He said, you've been more useful to go and tell your friends. Friends, I'm here tonight.
Bless you, Nick.
I believe he did, because when you read on over, I believe it's in chapter 7, I believe it said that they come back to Decapolis, where that he was at. He was in the Gadarenes, but it's also called Decapolis. They said whenever that he come back to Decapolis, they brought to him a man that was done, a man that couldn't speak, but just immediately. The Bible said that there was a great multitude. They'd seen what happened to that man. They'd seen the change that happened to that man. The Bible said Jesus got down and he touched the string of his tongue, and he spit and he put his fingers in his ears, and he could hear again, and he began to talk. I see with new eyes. I hear with new ears. I'm not the old man I used to be as I began to play. If you're here tonight, Jesus will do the same thing for you.
Amen.
You say, preacher, I may not, I've never done all the things that you did. You might say, preacher, I've done twice as bad as that. It don't matter. Jesus is no respecter of person.
Amen.
He gave his life just for you, just the same way that he did for me.
Amen.
It doesn't matter if you've got 2 nickels in your pocket to rub the gas. It don't matter if you've got a mansion sitting up on a hill and you've got everybody around you full. It don't matter if you've never heard the gospel before. No doubt that man never had an encounter with Jesus before. But when he showed up that day, he knew that he needed him. If Jesus has touched you tonight, if Jesus has touched your heart, not because of the stories that I told, no, but because that you know that Jesus can turn your life around too. Did I know what Jesus was going to do for me and why? No, sir, I had no idea. I had no idea. All I knew was I was broke and I needed fixing. And I knowed I couldn't do it. I knowed everything that I'd drunk, everything that I'd smoked, everything that I'd done wouldn't fix me. I knew it wouldn't work. Ballard, I knew I needed to be made whole. When you used to come in there and sweep them floors and show me I smoked dope in the back parking lot while you was in there. Ballard said he got saved in 1962. Is he good, Ballard? Has he ever left you? Has he ever forsaken you? The world may look at Ballard and may not think he's very much of nothing. He's a king. He's a king. Oh, what a crown that he will get. Now a lot of older people, they talk about heaven a lot. I really believe, Joe, I probably got a pretty good long ways off. I don't know that. I might go out and die. I like to talk about right now. The Lord saved me. Now listen in there. The Lord saved me. All them girls I used to run around with and all the things that I used to do, I didn't want them no more. God, give me a wife. And I mean a wife. Not one I had to worry about where she was at or where she was going. God, give me a wife. And then when long God give me a job. And God kept blessing my hands to be able to work, man. I began to feel good about myself again. You see, I couldn't even go shopping. I couldn't even go to Walmart unless I was high. I didn't feel like myself unless I had something in me that would change my state of mind. Going, bro, I'll give you some jobs. I didn't know. I just went out on my own. I didn't know nothing about carpenter work. I was in college to be a physical therapist. What I know about building houses and doing carpenter work. God not only changed my life, He showed me how to build houses. He showed me how to do stuff. I got out doing stuff and got out working. I got with Natalie. Praise the Lord. The Lord gave me a little girl. She's here tonight and I love her. God gave me a little boy. I was working with a man down in Kentucky. I was working for a guy. He told me when we was out there to work, I was doing some work on his place and had been there a few days, and I was happy. I'd been saved just a few years, and I was singing and I was rejoicing. And he come to me and he said, "What makes you so happy?" I said, "I got Jesus." Listen to this. Hallelujah. He said, "You tell me how God," hold on just a second, I don't want to sing this to death. He said, "You tell me this." He said, "How can a God that you sing about there or praising the Lord about that you can be so happy with?" He said, "How can a God do this?" He said, "I got a nephew.
He said, me and my wife couldn't have kids. He said, me and my brother's little boy was out on the golf course. Said he's 11 years old. He said he was a horse playing with a golf club. He said he kicked that golf club up, kicked the head off of it. He said that golf club turned up about the time he tripped and he fell on. He said he died in my arms on the golf course. He said, how can a God that loves you, how can you be so happy about a God that would do something like that to you? I said, mister, let me tell you what God done for me. I told him the story that I just told y'all, and then I said, God's given me a little girl. And then I said, God's just blessed me with a little boy. And I said, mister, I said, that little boy might grow up one day and preach. Makes him stand up. I said, they might be hundreds. The Lord hadn't called me to preach yet. I said, God might give me a little boy. I said, that little boy, I said, he might grow up one day and preach. And they might be hundreds, they might be thousands. I said, maybe even your family would be there and hear him and get saved. I said, how could God not have done that to me? You say that's horrible preaching. I don't know God's plan. I just got to follow. I just got to follow after Him. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know the end. For I walk with my faith and not by sight. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on. You're here tonight. You need Him. You need Him. Come on. Come on, pray tonight. Come on. Come on, pray tonight. Would you? There's a change you can't pray. Come on. Come on, pray. Come on, pray. I promise you, God will do the same thing for you as what He done for me. I promise you. I didn't know He was going to give me a wife. I didn't know He was going to give me a good job. I didn't know He was going to give me a little girl. I didn't know He was going to give me a little boy. I didn't know then a few years later He was going to give me another little girl. And I didn't know a few years later than that He was going to give me another little boy. And I didn't know He was going to give me a nice house and a nice car. I really didn't care. I know I was broken. I know I was a low life. I know I was no good. And I know I needed Jesus to fix my life. That's the only thing I know. And I couldn't have quoted you no Bible scripture. I could have told you no Bible stories. I know God touched my heart tonight when I was sitting there in that church house. I know if I could trust Him. I thought, well, Lord, I'll give you a chance. I'll try it. If you're really real, let me confirm tonight. He's really real, and He really died for your sins. You know what He wants to do tonight? He wants to take your sins and blot them out and fold them away. Amen. And start your life all over again. Just, you know what being justified is? Just as He. I have never seen Him. Amen. Just as He. Come on. Come and pray tonight. Come on. Come and pray tonight. Come on. Come and pray. Come on. Come on, sin friend. You don't want to die in the shape you're in. Come on. You don't want to live in the shape you're in. That's the greatest part of it is the life that I live right now. God has blessed me abundantly. And I'm not talking about just financially. God's been good to me in my bank account. God's been better to me in my life. If every bit of it was gone right now, just let me have what I've got inside of me right now. Just let me have His peace and His joy when I can lay down and sleep tonight and not have to worry about what's going on around me, not have to worry about it. If somebody's going to break in and kill me in the middle of the night, I'd sleep with my doors and my windows wide open. You won't come in, you take anything I got, but you can't take Jesus. You didn't give Him to me, you didn't take Him away. He come and died for me so that I might be able to have life. And I might be able to have abundant life. You ain't never lived for Him until you live for Jesus. You've never lived, you've never experienced nothing like this. You think you're on your own, you're doing your own thing now. No, you ain't. You're controlled by the enemy. You're being determined by the situation that you're in right now. Come on tonight. Come on, start over. Start over. Let God have it tonight. Come on, would you? Would you please come tonight? Come on. Church, is He worth it? Amen. Have you got joy unspeakable before the Lord? Amen. Is His blessings new every morning? Amen. Does He have peace for you when you wake up? Yes, sir. Has He got peace for you in the middle of the day? Is He peace in the middle of the storm? Amen. Is He God of the mountain and God of the valley? Is He the bright and morning star? He's all above and more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, pray. Come on, would you? Come on. Come on. Did that one little lost lamb, God? Yeah. Keep going, G.
I bet the other night doing just fine. The shepherd.
Would you bow your head just a minute tonight, church, as they sing? I want to see if there'd be one tonight. This won't save you. But if there's one tonight that would just slip your hand up. Say, y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Somewhere down this way of life, preacher, I'd like to get saved. Would you do that much tonight? Great message. Great message. And I thought about, as Nick was preaching that, out of everything that he got into, all that God was able to get him out of. I don't know what you're into tonight, but God's able to get you out of it. Is there one tonight that just slid their hand up and say, pray for me? Come on, friend. How about raise that hand? Is there none tonight? Just slip that hand up. Pray for me. God bless that hand. Is there none tonight that just slip their hand up? Say, pray for me. Pray for me. I'm lost. I need the Lord in my life. Is there one tonight anywhere? Is there none tonight? While they're singing, the churches are praying. You two that raise your hand, y'all sit down and come. Y'all come on up here. Y'all pray. Y'all pray. Come on, young. Somebody else. Somebody else. Come on, friend. Come on tonight. Lord's touching your life, touching your heart right now. Drawing you to this altar of prayer. Won't you come? Come on, would you? Just slip that hand down. Take it right back down. Say, pray for me. Pray for me, I'm lost, but I want to be saved somewhere. Come on, would you do that much? Come on. Come on. As far as sin's taking you, I thought when he was preaching tonight, he was going to take him further. He was going to take him on further till Jesus stepped in. How about it tonight, friend? Is there one somewhere? Is there none tonight that sit their hand down and say, pray for me? Pray for me somewhere I want to be saved. You know, here you are sitting in the house of God with a golden opportunity to get saved and to change your life forever. What opportunity that it is. Golden opportunity that Jesus would come to your house, knock on your heart's door and want in. God bless that hand. Is there none tonight anywhere that raise it? Say, preacher, remember me. Pray for me. Pray for me. I'm lost, but I want to be saved. Come on, friend. Nick, preach this heart out tonight for you. Church, pray hard. Somebody need me. Somebody want me tonight. You don't want to go to hell. You don't want to go to hell. Good news is you don't have to. There's a way out. There's a way out. You feel the Lord touching your heart. Will you come? Come on. Come on, don't leave no wood. I believe I can. While the Lord's touching your life, touching your heart, come to your house. Out of everybody said last night, out of 7.5 million people in this world, it's amazing that a little church like this in Adam now, God would visit.
Amen.
And out of everybody that He did, He chose you tonight. He come to your house, touched your heart, touched your life, giving you a great opportunity and a chance. The Bible said to tell you a time and a chance happens to us all. Today is the day of salvation. Today, if you will hear His voice, harden not your heart. Anybody else want to pray? Anybody else want to come? Come on, be honest. This all comes to a close. This service will be over. And if you ain't careful, you're going to leave the same way you came. Lost without the Lord. But one step, opening that heart's door, can change your life forever. Change your life forever.